Okay, so I'm just going to jump right into this. The binomial expansion theorem, the thing that we use Pascal's triangle for, this previous video, the thing that we use that for is for expanding binomials. So what I mean by that is, suppose somebody asked you to do something like 2x minus 3 raised to the 4th power. I mean, one of your options is to write 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3 and like super mega foil the whole thing out, like multiply it out. And you can do that. On the IB exam, a lot of times the power up here will be larger than you want to deal with, like a 7th power. And so it's good to know about this binomial expansion theorem thing. So the way it works is, first you figure out what Pascal's triangle says about the 4th row. So you're looking at this number up here. Whatever that number is, that is the row that we're looking at in Pascal's triangle. So if we remember Pascal's triangle and we go down to the 4th row, by the way, this is not the 4th row. This is the 3rd row because it goes 0, 1, 2, 3. So the next one, the 4th row, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Now the way that I organize this is I actually take these numbers and I write them vertically on the page. So I'm going to look at 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. And the idea is that each one of those numbers is going to have a bunch of stuff after it, so I want a whole row's worth of space. So the next thing you do is you take the first thing inside the binomial, the 2x, and you raise that up to the power that you're dealing with, so 2x to the 4th. And in each subsequent row, you're raising it to one lower power. So you cubed, then squared, then first power, and then finally 2x to the 0 power, which is 1, which means it's really not going to do anything, right? The next thing you do is you take the second thing in Pascal's triangle, so negative 3. This time you're going to start at the bottom, negative 3, and raise that to, again, the power that you're working with, the 4th power. And we do this, again, decreasing the powers as we go up. All right, so this is first, and again at the top you'll get to negative 3 to the 0, which is 1. The thing I want you to notice here, the pattern that you've got, is that the powers add up to 4. So the powers here are 4. 3 and 1 is 4. 2 and 2 is 4. 1 and 3 is 4. 0 and 4 is 4. Right? So great, now that you've done that stuff, and this is such a crucial step, and a lot of people make mistakes here, your next step is that you need to simplify each row individually. And please take note of the fact that there is no addition or subtraction in here. I'd say the biggest mistake I see people make is they go 4 plus 8x cubed minus 3. That is like ridiculously wrong. Please don't ever do that. This is multiplication. This is 4 times 8x cubed times negative 3. Right? So what you're going to want to do instead is, and if you want to be careful about it, I'd say sort of multiply each of them individually. So you've got 1, and then it was 16x to the 4th, and then the red part just went away. In the next one it was 4, and then it was times 8x cubed, and then it was times negative 3. The next one down was 6 times 4x squared times 9. The next was 4 times 2x times negative 27. And the last one you had 1. The blue part went away, so 1 times 81. We're getting close to being done. The next step is actually to simplify each one of these rows. So, and I suppose I want to go to green or something for this. The top row is 16x to the 4th. The next row down I have some multiplying to do. I have to do 4 times 8 is 32. 32 times negative 3 is negative 96x cubed. This next one I've got 6 times 4, which is 24, and then 24 times 9, which is 216. So 216x squared. This one here I've got, let's see here, this is 54, so I think that's another 216 actually. This time it's negative 216x, and then in the last one you've just got plus 81. And so the final answer to this problem, the question was, the initial question was asking, what is the expansion of 2x minus 3 to the 4th? Well, the answer is all of these things written in a row. So 16x to the 4th minus 96x cubed plus 216x squared minus 216x plus 81. That's the whole thing. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is generally not the way that these questions are asked on the IB exam, and a big part of the reason is this just takes too long to compute. I mean, like, sure, this was 5 minutes worth of video, which means if I wasn't explaining it, we could probably do it in 3 minutes, and that's okay, but the IB exam likes things to be quicker than that. They're going to give you 5 minutes, but they're going to sort of give you, 2 minutes worth of problem to do. So in the next slides, I have examples of how they're going to ask these questions. So for example, find the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of 2x minus 5 to the 4th power. All right, let's look at how this is a faster problem. And then for the last problem, I'll sort of let you go through it on your own, and there's a little twist to it. So find the coefficient of x squared. Let's see here. Well, we're looking at the 4th row of Pascal's triangle. So the 4th row of Pascal's triangle is 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, just like we had on the previous slide. Then the next thing that happens, and hopefully you're remembering this, is we take 2x, and what do we do with that 2x? I would say pause the video and sort of write out what your next step is. It's supposed to be 2x to the 4th, then 2x cubed, then 2x squared, then 2x, then 2x to the 0. I guess it's the first power here. Okay? Great. Then the next important part is I don't care about a lot of these rows. Right? They told me that they wanted the coefficient of x squared. This is x to the 4th. This is x cubed. This is x to the 1st. This is x to the 0th. And so it's sort of like, yay, I really only care about one of those rows. All right, now all I have to do is go back through and sort of look at the rest of it. Now I'm supposed to take negative 5, and I'm going to do negative 5 to the 4th. Again, I don't actually care. Negative 5 to the 3rd. Still don't care. Here, negative 5 squared. And I could write negative 5 to the 1st and negative 5 to the 0, but I don't need them. The other way this could have been done, by the way, is if you had noticed, like, oh, this is a 2nd power, it's 4th power, these two things are supposed to add up to 4, and so you know that needs to be a 2. Anyway, long story short, we can now simplify this. That 6 stays 6, the next thing is 4x squared, the next thing is 25, and so let's see here, this and this is 100, and so you're looking at 600x squared. And so to answer the question, they asked for the coefficient of x squared. The answer is 600. Okay, I've got one more example. Okay, so this last example that I have has a little bit of a twist in it. I'm asking for the coefficient of x cubed in the expansion of 2x minus 1 to the 9th. And the twist that this has is that it's the 9th power. I guess you could write down to the 9th row in Pascal's triangle, but that's just a disaster. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say, the 9th row in Pascal's triangle, whatever it may start with, what I know it starts with 9C0, and then it's 9C1, and then it's 9C2, right? And it's going to keep going like this. It'll be 9C3, 9C4. I don't really need to compute these until I know which one I need, right? So it's sort of like I'm going to have this, pattern of 9C somethings that's going down this side. Then my next thing, I'm supposed to look at this 2x. This will be 2x to the 9th, 2x to the 8th, 2x to the 7th, and we might even decide we don't need to write all these in, right? I can just sort of skip to the part that I need, right? This will be 2x to the 4th, 2x cubed. Right there is where I'm going to find my x cubed term. So if we sort of finish doing this, this will be 9c3, 9c2. And then the last part that I need is I need this coefficient here, which I think I said was negative 5, or negative 1. So this here is negative 1, and what power will this be raised to? Well, my powers are supposed to add up to 9, so this will be the 6th power. Right, so now I just need to figure out and expand out what this thing is. Right, so let's start with that 9c2. 9c2 is supposed to be 9 factorial over 7 factorial 2 factorial. That's 9 times 8 over 2, which is 36. So I'm looking at 36 times 8x cubed times negative 1. And then we just have to do 36 times 8, which is 8, 4, 28. Okay, so you're looking at negative 288x cubed. And so the answer to the question is negative 288. Okay. That question was 2 minutes. This will be a 5-mark question, a 6-mark question on the IB exam. If you can get to the point that you're doing these problems in 2 minutes, it's awesome, because it means you're banking banking time that you can use for other problems.